I'm going to make a present. I'm going to use this piece of walnut, some of this Jatoba, and another piece of thicker walnut I haven't picked out yet. It's going to be part segments and part tapered staves. And I'll have to set up and cut 4 different angles. I have the first one set up. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do here. I'm going to cut these into lengths, and then we'll start cutting the staves. I've got the angles cut on the bottom and the top. They're parallel. This is how the turning is going to end up sitting. This is a remnant from a sled that I made, and I just never threw it away, and I decided that I could use it for this. I have this set up on an angle which is going to give the taper to the stave. And I have that angle over there underneath it just so that I have a good indexing point. What I will end up doing is cutting once, flipping it over, and this is going to give me the taper. I'm making 18 of these. So now I got to get that dimension set up here, set my stop, and cut them. I'll go ahead and show you how I cut these tapered staves and how I do it on this sled. There's other ways of doing it. This, I think, is probably the most secure way. So I'll cut a couple. You'll see how I flip them to create the angle along this way.
That thin board there has a little wedge taped onto it. It helps the pieces slide away from the blade. It also sticks out far enough that I don't have them falling onto the floor.
Time to glue it together. The most exciting part of this project. 18 segments, 9 walnuts, 9 Jatoba. They're alternated. There's a tape strips on the back so I can roll it up like this. And these staves came off my jig and they fit. I couldn't ask for anything much better, and no adjustment was needed. I'm happy with that. Used my little rope clamps. I hot glued some tabs on it so the ropes wouldn't slide down, which it would do on a taper. So now I'm going to get glue in here and go through that same process. So I guess we just need to do it.
Once the glue dried, I put it in my coal jaws and sanded the bottom flat to get it ready to glue onto the base that I had prepared.
I decided on a piece of walnut for the base. It's really a pretty piece. I'm going to get it glued on here, and while it's setting up, I'm going to cut some segments for the top ring, also out of the same walnut. Okay, we'll cut some segments now for the top ring. Here's the top ring, 18 segments of walnut. So we'll bring this up. I put a piece of black tape on here so I could keep an eye on the joint, because I'm dividing these segments up evenly so they're staggered. And if I just had a pencil line, the glue will cover it up and I won't see it anymore. But I see that is lined up. A little pressure on it and make sure it doesn't move. And there it is. Each one of these is staggered from the staves. There's 18 staves, there's 18 segments. Come around here and confirm that it's in the middle. So I'm going to let this sit all night. And I'm going to work on another project I'm looking forward to finishing. All set to round this up. It's running very true. I haven't quite decided on the shape. I sort of like it just straight, but let me get it round and we'll see what happens. $860 RPMs easily. 5/8 bowl gouge. So with this sticking out as far as it is and all of the glue joints with these staves, I decided to go ahead and put the steady rest on here while I get the inside. That's the extra noise you're hearing there, those wheels spinning. Like the shape I have on the inside, I'm going to go ahead and finish it off with my negative rake scraper. Just do some blending in here, and I'll get it sanded, and we'll go around and finalize that shape on the outside. Okay, let me get set up to sand. I'll go ahead and do the bottom with this 80 grit, and I think on the side I'm going to use sheets of 80 grit. about 400 RPMs. That's going to work good. And I'll do a little bit. Alright, the inside's all done and sanded. I have a little bit right here that I need to finish shaping, and we'll be able to sand this up. That pretty much does it. I think we can sand. Well, the sanding is going to be really easy here. I'm going to use my 2-inch pads. I'm going to start with 80 grit, work my way to 400, and I get done with that, we'll be back and put some finish on it. All set to get some sanding sealer on it. I have 5 coats of the sanding sealer on it, and that sanding sealer was just lacquer and lacquer thinner, thinned down so I could wipe it on. I used Scotch-Brite when I was through with that, and now I'm using abrasive paste. I have that on. I'm going to go ahead and get this worked in there and buffed off. Then I'm going to use friction polish over the top of it. Okay, all through with the abrasive paste. Now we'll put the friction polish on. I think that's all it needs. It looks pretty nice to me. So we'll get it off the lathe and I'll get the bottom finished, and then I'll show you what we ended up with. Well, here it is. The bowl made of tapered staves. There's 9 walnut and there's 9 Jatoba. And I think these two woods go together so nice, and they're so reflective. Just beautiful pieces of wood. It finished 7 inches in diameter, it's 6 inches tall, and the base is 4 inches. And I turn the recess away from the base and give it a little decoration. And you can look down in the bowl and see the tapering of the staves. I think that's a really interesting look there. I like the flowing look of the outside. I think it really accents the wood and the shape of the stave. Tapered staves are a lot of fun to make, but there's a lot more work in gluing the blank up than there is actually turning. But fortunately, I like doing both. The top ring is 18 segments of walnut. The base is a solid piece. And all this walnut came from one piece of wood that I had, and I think it's just spectacular grain in this wood. I finished it with sanding sealer, and then I used friction polish. I only showed doing one application of the friction polish, but I ended up doing it about 5 more times, and it really goes on quick. See, you didn't miss too much there. This was another fun project for me. I hope you enjoyed the process of making a stave turning. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment. I enjoy reading them all. Also, like, share, and subscribe if you're not already. And for those of you who are subscribed, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thanks again, and until the next time, see you later.